Good morning, good afternoon. Today's Monday, May 7th, 2018, and we're doing the morning business headline commentary. Alright, so looking at it right now, the big news of the Monday is Starbucks and Nestle going to business together in offering coffee products. Yeah, so it's interesting in the coffee business because every business working person do need a little bit of coffee sometimes. And because of that consistent sometimes to perform well on their job, there's a big market for caffeine related products such as the major coffee stuff and now maybe a little bit of energy drinks which contain caffeine as well. So this is a no loss business because coffee has a lot of caffeine and people rely on different styles of coffee to help them perform better in their job because they need to work and make money. Alright, so you see the investor conference at Omaha for Warren Buffett's companies. He's touting major investments in various tech companies. As I mentioned previously, he's pretty advanced in age, so I put more of my bets on his traditional ideas, traditional businesses like Heinz ketchup, railroads, Coca-Cola, like that. I'll bet on his bets on these things. But comparatively speaking, with other newer technology where he doesn't actually have the background in technology, I probably bet on other people's opinions, that understood had a background in technology. I know he made a mistake in IBM and then tried to backtrack it a little bit by going on popular names like Apple. But all in all, people that knows technology, they may be applying a little high standard on evaluating his recommendations, but that's a little bit of advance in age now, so it's not as sharp as his older days where he learned certain traditional business kind of stuff while he was a little bit sharper as well in his senses. Alright, so oil prices reaching $70. Main contention for this reasoning is that the better global economy, so there's more consumption. But it started to rise in prices after the Saudi prince came to the United States to promote a lot of stuff. And one of his interests is to promote a higher energy prices because Saudi Arabia exports a lot of oil. So, basically if you see Saudi prince showing up in the United States, a lot of people are being screwed about the oil prices. And also it was in the news that the Saudi assume a higher pricing for the oil in their future planning for the economy. So, a lot of people being screwed even though the United States is a major producer of oil with sideways drilling and dwarfs a lot of other organizations in oil producing. So you see a lot of headline, popular headline is self-driving cars, but a lot of people that have driven in the industry knows the actuality or even the practicality of these things. So sometimes in the United States when it gets stupid, it gets really stupid. So they are willing to spend the millions to realize something that a lot of drivers have understood already. So, in a sense, in the United States uniquely, you need to let stupid play itself out after spending a lot of money on this thing. Alright, that's a little bit of that. So Tesla is in the news again. Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned before, there's a high latitude for innovation and creativity, which can change the whole business model entirely in the future, such as space exploration, tourism, and commercialization of space. Eventually, they may even talk about, like, candy company. He floated about a little bit, but we see how he spins on it, a little bit. Everybody likes, like, good candies and stuff once in a while. So we see, like, I do think it's like a buying opportunity when it has a dip. So, I mean, the adoption of solar technology would be increasing quickly as the efficiencies of these apparatus increases and durability and quality increases. A lot more people will be willing to do a cash flow setup where you may be leasing the apparatus, solar apparatus, while having a positive cash flow where you generate the electricity and selling it to the grid. Something like that. All right, a little bit of self-driving again. All right, oil a little bit. In Apple, they always talk about the possibility of various other things, but you evaluate it now, they're not leading on new features or new technology. They're relying on, I mean, their bread and butter and reputation is based on new technology, revolutionary stuff. But now the argument is just using, like buybacks, repatriating stuff, not relating to the main business, which is technology innovation. It's more like maneuvering of stock and corporate assets, which they can do, but it's not really to the original, reasoning why they reached here in the first place, which is introducing really cool products like Steve Jobs did. All right. So, a little bit of sweet snacks of the Oreos, even though like professionals reach a high level of sophistication, their knowledge and their practice of their business, they remember the good old days of like having good snacks, good things to eat, candies, and that's why there's also like a small industry for good sweets, because like these things are actually a little bit better and non-consequential compared to recreational drugs, which can screw everybody's career and families, have the high potential doing that. So if you think about it, in the weighing of equities, you may want to just enjoy some, memorable snacks that you had as a child, and that will bring a lot of joy and happiness, while you are stressed out in your career or something like that, all right, that's a little bit of that. So you see there's a lot of movement in the healthcare provider, insurance, and all that stuff. And they're going to, after Amazon announces interest in getting into the space, they've been pushing a lot of endeavors and creativities that has not been tested before, such as vertical mergers, like pharmacies with the health insurance like that. So this is uncharted territory, then they have to give it time to test it out and have major consequences as well, because people use healthcare. Okay, Walmart, due to regulatory scrutiny, taking actions to participate in better regulations of opioids. All right, so that's one of the many commentaries and opinions on Bitcoin. But you think about it, Bitcoin's virtual currency, right? Lacks a lot more physicality. And you think about it, credit cards is a virtual currency, but they gave some form of physicality, just as in a plastic with symbols on it, like technology symbols. So if you sometimes you can use a credit card information as a virtual currency. Specifically, you buy online where you don't need the physicality. So this is a natural step, like in a mature economy, a mature, people understanding or bartering system where In the old days, you need some form of physicality. But now, as advanced economy realizes you don't really need that much physicality, and that's why there's a natural evolution of holding value. So that's that, in my opinion. Okay, that's that. So looking at the FX, yeah, moderate movements. Oil, which is crazy, going above 70. No thanks to the Saudi prince, and his like tour into the U.S. trying to colluded or in some ways to push the prices higher. No thanks to that by a lot of people who need to buy gases and shit. All right. So Dow Jones up a little bit, So you see a little bit of alternative value stores making a comeback, and a lot of people trying to chime in with their opinions. Some are like educated, and some are less educated opinions. And it is a little bit of everything what everybody says, and but all in all, it's a new natural evolving where like holding value has less physicality, more conceptual, just like the evolution of credit card, but it was marketed well to the public to accept it. So I mean, sometimes you need a little bit of marketing effort to make people accept it, and they do have legitimate uses. Like I mentioned before, like Zimbabwe, Venezuela, the Korea affairs, all has some form of using this new form of value store to protect their value, because it's borderless, and as long as another person honors the value, it's protected. It's not like sovereign corruption that messes everything up in other corrupt countries where it just like busts the whole currency away in value. So when you have introduced a new concept where like people other places of the world honors value, it introduces like a legitimate hedge against a lot of things. So that's my opinion a little bit. All right, looking at the stocks, all right, open like that. Well, they may try to test it, like testing it like $1,000 smartphone. Yeah, they're trying to test like a $1 million drug, But this is like healthcare related, and there's a lot of scrutiny and regulation. So I do think this is like a small stint into trying it out first, and then a lot of people will cry foul to the government, and then there's going to be a lot of scrutiny. Why is it costing $1 million? Yeah. So maybe like there's a patent protection that may litigate it to abusiveness, and then shorten the protection due to abusiveness. All right. All right. All right. All right. Well, you just see, Goldman's always like, up on my business as well, because I have small stints dealing with them. So they, as I mentioned before, I do have a lot of followers in wide range of backgrounds, and I wouldn't be surprised, Hammers is like, into my business again, like he did when I was in college. Like I did mention McDonald's in my feature videos, in the past dated videos. So Microsoft making a marketing effort that claims people trust them. If people had trust them, they still hold over 90% of the market share in operating system, which is not true anymore. due to the fact that nobody really trusts them anymore. Once you broken the trust, like not all the time. Sometimes they may come back to Windows and related products, but they know for a fact this is like the most hacked software out there. So if you're smart about things, you may want to use a lot of other operating system and software. Okay, 60 minutes doing super journalism, looking into drug pricing. I know if you're not smart about it, they will abuse it into raising the prices, right? That's why you need strong regulation at the FDA and related agencies and other watchdogs to make sure that the pricing is fair and the protection is limited in timing, so generics can come in and compete. All right, similar stuff. So Jeff Bezos asking questions on his executives. All right, these are the significant business headlines for today's Monday, May 7, 2018. As you mentioned of note, I do have Indian followers and Chinese message followers. India's Modi went for a big hug on Amazon after I featured Amazon in my dated video a little bit over a year and a half ago. Also, I had Chinese business followers that decided to buy out Germany's robotics firm after I featured these robotics arms building supercars in my supercar remix videos. Some of them listed below. Also a note, I do understand sometimes my commentaries are affecting sovereign policies. As some of my commentaries and theories on virtual currency and the careers situation that basically hinted to the U.S. policymakers to apply maximum pressure against various assets, including virtual currency, which prompted the North Korean to come to terms in negotiating peace deals due to maximum pressure. After I mentioned about the cryptocurrency holdings of the Koreans. Alright, that's that in today's Monday, May 7, 2018, and we're doing the morning business headline commentary. Happy trading, everybody, and happy summer season weather and so forth like that. Alright?